beautiful machine. Yes, I love this thing. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now today, what we're looking at is at a 1996 Mitsubishi Delica L300 Star Wagon. And for those that don't know what Delica actually means, Delica is just short for delivery car. And the Delica has actually been around since 1968. So it's a very tried and true formula. And if you're looking for a rugged and versatile JDM 4x4, the Delica is automatically going to come into conversation. And with the recent 25-year rule hitting the US for the third generation Delicas, these are becoming extremely popular. Seeing examples on Bring a Trailer going for an arm and a leg. But the good news is there's so many different trim levels and so many different variations of the Delica that you really get to pick and choose what's important to you when you're looking for a JDM 4x4. And in today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look over at the exterior, as well as the interior, and the overall driving experience. And on top of that, instead of taking it out on the street, I actually wanted to do this van a little bit of justice. And I'm a couple hours out of the city right now on a beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. And I thought, what better car to bring out on some off-roading adventures? So what we'll be doing is we'll be kind of putting this car to the test to see how it does in like some overlanding and off-roading situations. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to give a huge shout out over to Alex over at Ellis Motors JDM for giving me this opportunity to be able to review this car for you guys today. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more if you're looking for more car content like this. But I think with that being said, let's just get right into the video, shall we? Now, when taking a look at the exterior styling of this Delica in particular, you're going to notice that the front end is very distinct. Now, if we were able to go back in time and look at the second generation Delicas that were actually very notable and popular back in Canada, when this came around in the late 80s, it was undescribably different from everything else that is out there. So in terms of just like the front fascia, how it has these halo headlights and it has this big, huge bash bar, and this one in particular also has some giant yellow fog lights, it really adds to that functional safari look that people have known and come to love. And what I really appreciate about this van in particular is even though it does sit 8 people, it doesn't feel as large as some other vans in its competition. And it's something that you'll definitely get used to, but what I really appreciate is just the little things, right? So like these giant mirrors actually serve a purpose when it comes to, you know, getting out of a hard corner or being able to see blind spots when you're going on the highway. You're not going to see all the accessories that you might see on some other builds when it comes to Delicas, but I think that kind of creates a blank canvas for us to be able to do so many different things with this, right? You could put stuff on the roof. There's some people that even put ladders back here, and even people take out the seats and they kind of turn this into a camper van. So the possibilities are really endless with the Delica in terms of what you want to do with it. And when you start out with something as basic as this model, it really gives you, you know, some space to play around with just like different ideas. And what's so great is there's so much readily available information on these vehicles, and there's so many people that are really hardcore enthusiasts about the Delica that there's a huge community around it. So if you ever had any questions or you ever were running into issues with the Delica, all that stuff has already been solved. So you wouldn't have any issues if you were to take the ownership of something that wasn't actually built and produced here in America. Now, when taking a look at the wheel and tire setup that we have on this particular Delica, you're going to see that it actually has a set of Yokohama Geolanders. And the funny thing is, I actually have this on one of my personal cars, and I have nothing but nice things to say about the Geolanders. I'm not sure if they're discontinued or not, but if they're still around, it's a great option, especially if you want something that's not super aggressive, like a set of grabbers that's going to be, you know, a little bit noisier on the highway. So this could be a good like middle of the road kind of jack of all trades tire. So you're able to kind of get all the grip that you would want in off-road situations, but it's not so knobby as to where it makes the car unpleasant to drive on the highway, especially at high speeds. And inside the Delica, it's a very pleasant place to be, especially if you're the backseat passenger. Now, what's so funny and so bizarre with these models in particular is some of them were actually equipped with full-on karaoke machines. So can you imagine being on a road trip and you have the whole back party singing 99 Beers on the Wall? I mean, it's just such a bizarre concept, but you know, that's what makes it really cool. Now, unfortunately, this one doesn't have that option, but it definitely does have the climate control essentials that you need, especially if you want to be a back passenger, being able to control how hot or cold it gets back here. There's this jump over seat that can be easily accessed by just folding it down. It makes its way down like that and pops open for another seat in case somebody else wants to sit here. Now, as we hop into the interior of the Delica, you're going to notice right off the bat that it feels like you're sitting very high up, and it's because the axles are actually right underneath you, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, and due to the fact that the engine is actually going to be right here in the middle. Now, this particular Delica has a 2.5 liter turbo diesel engine, and the thing is, unfortunately, that these vans are a little bit down on power, but where they make it up is just being able to have so much immense grip and be able to navigate over huge obstacles. So it could be a drawback for some, but it's very manageable, and on the highway it's able to keep speed and things like that. You're not going to be able to do any heroic overtakes or anything like that, but you know, that's just kind of coming with the territory of driving a older turbo diesel engine. But with the interior aesthetics aside, it definitely does have the tilted front steering wheel, so you definitely feel like you're driving like I always use this comparison, like an old VW bus. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's not hard to use at all. It's very easy for cruising on the highway, and it's pretty well equipped. It's got AC, it's got heat, it's got four-wheel drive that's part-time that you can use either in the low or high gears. It kind of gives you that option here, as well as being a 4-speed automatic with overdrive. And the overdrive can definitely come in handy, especially if you're stuck up on a pretty steep hill. Now, with the turbo diesel engines, you do get a little bit more engine efficiency, which in the long run is actually a pretty good thing, especially if you want to run this for long periods of time or just go long distances. It's pretty good on gas for the most part, and everything here is serving its purpose as just being a real functional cabin that you could do a lot of different things in. And I think I've done enough talking about this car, and I'm really just itching just to take it back out again because it's just so much fun. Now, what just amazes me is how it soaks up all these bumps. Like, I don't know how well it's gonna pick up on camera, but those are some huge potholes. It gets a little less bumpy once we go more into the trail. It's just right in this beginning portion, it's like this. See, like right now it smooths out. God, it's a beautiful day outside. This is just like the perfect day for this. Kind of glad this is an automatic, so I'm not having to fight with rowing through the gears while trying to go over all these obstacles. What a thing. Surprised we haven't hit any big puddles yet. Oh, never mind. Whoa! Nice. The altimeter seems to be working just fine. We are gaining a little bit of elevation here. Don't want to go too crazy here. I see a couple cars, so I don't want to accidentally hit somebody if they're walking across. Oh man, this van's growing on me. Thing is so capable. I'm genuinely impressed. much smoother here. There's just something about getting out of the city and not having to worry about all the traffic around you. Nothing but nature. It's really therapeutic in a weird way. Just found this little back road, see where it takes us. Yeah, there's definitely some chunkier gravel. Let's check this out. This will be the test right here. That's a big old puddle. No problem. Wow, look at that view. Holy cow. And that water though. God, this van is incredible. This is seriously so good. Oh my God. It just loves it. It doesn't miss a beat. What a fun road. Turning around will be interesting, but we'll figure that out on the way back. I brought my Subaru down here a long time ago, and it was really fun. So I kind of know the layout of this. This used to be like an old logging road, so. But in comparison to the Subaru, the Delica, I think this is where it's at. Oh yeah. Easy, easy for this. Okay, how we doing? Oh yeah, we're good. I don't want to go in too deep, but it is addicting. I just want to keep going. Let's see if I can get on that rock. That'd be pretty cool. Ooh, yeah. No problem. I am by myself, so I gotta be a little careful here. Alright, it might be time to turn it around. Alright, let's head back. astonished. I don't even feel like I'm in a giant van. I feel like I'm in a little pickup truck. It is so good. Take it easy here. Okay. Nice. No problem. Honestly, I could have gone farther if I wanted to, but just didn't want to go too deep. Going uphill, it's almost better than downhill. It really climbs. Going for a little swing. Beautiful. Beautiful machine, yes! I love this thing. It's a big puddle. I'll take it easy here. Wow.